This is it. 3 of 3. I'm going to take it you guys already learned how to use Blender. If you don't, I'm going to make some Blender tutorials. Otherwise, there's great tutorials out there. I want you guys to really take in this information because this is stuff that you can use in other programs, or heck, you can create stuff in Unity, the Unreal Engine. But we're going to be going through this, and we're kind of going to be touching up on the stuff that we did, but we're going to be doing a lot of stuff differently. This is going to be mostly Blender and rendering things inside Blender. The Photoshop slash GIMP portion, or I should say GIMP slash Photoshop, because the whole reason why I made this channel is to do things by saving money using open source software and save memory on your computer. So let's go ahead and let's figure this out. Alrighty, so as we know, we go into our workshop. Create new item. Oh yeah, you guys wanted to see the AOCT. Alright, so we go into there and we're going to look up metal door. So, and remember, right click, W, S, A, D, E, and Q are to go up and down. Our item's going to be door. I believe it's sheet metal. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Sheet metal door. That's it. Now, in the comments section from the last one, I heard that some people were having problems. You guys aren't the only ones that are having problems downloading. I think that had something to do with the latest update, so we're just going to have to go from there. But as you can see, this is where you put the code lock. This goes up top, and there's actually two separate objects to this. So, first things first, we're going to have to save our model, and we'll go into Edit, Main, download an OBJ file. This is underneath C Rust models. And I already have these here. But we'll do tutorial. Well, no. You just download it and then it'll create two separate files. But it's underneath C Rust models for me. You can put it underneath whatever you want. I'll drag those out into the desktop. And, I mean, you can keep Rust open for reference, but you're not really going to need to, just for the sole purpose that you're going to be bouncing back and forth. And as you can see here, they have this kind of popping out. Our collision right here is kind of like that, our specular gloss. So we'll click on save this to disk. Door mesh, save, and it gives you this error message. You technically don't need any of them, but it's good for referencing so you can figure out exactly what is what. So right here underneath this one, the normal's the only one that I could download as well. And again, we'll just click on that and we'll do normal.png. Save it. Oh. Okay. That's saved. Let's try the default. Normal.png. Yeah, same thing. It's giving me a problem. Which the normals are really the only thing that you need. Because that'll give you an idea as to... That's what gives it its depth. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But we're going to create our own normal. And right here, same thing. This right here would be, I believe this is the specular. I don't think it's the O collision, but I can be A collision. I can't even talk. Whereas this right here and the shading, this is this right here. That's your normal. It gives it its actual depth to it, so it doesn't look so flat. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna figure it out, and we'll go from there. All right. So now that we have that, we're just gonna exit right out and quit. This is what we're working with. And by looking at this, you can see the different shades. So of course, this is what we're going to have to look at. Now this right here is our door going all the way down here. This would be the hinge, and then these are the sides. This, I'm not too sure where the actual sides of the door are. The parts that are like the top, the bottom. I know for a fact this looks like it would be the handle. That looks like it'd be some sort of circle. That probably goes around here. The key probably goes on the door lock, maybe. That looks like it would go to the edge. I don't know. Let's check it out. So we're going to pull up Blender, of course. And import OBJ Rust models. Now, if you don't remember how to jump, I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. If you haven't, again, if you haven't looked at my previous tutorials, up here in the right-hand corner, right there, that's where you're going to start off on the first one, and then you can go from there. Otherwise, I'm going to go through this because we got a lot to touch up on. But for the most part, you'll be able to, if you've already watched the other two, then we should be able to fly right through this, and we're going to be able to figure this out no problem. So, sheet door, and this is the handle. And then if we click on doorway, tab, that's how they made it. So file, import, OBJ, and this has door at the end of it. So I'm taking it, this is the door, that is the door. And if we do G along the Y, G along the X, because that should go right about there. That looks right. So now we have that perfectly. All right. And again, I'm just going to fly right through this, and I'm going to import my... Now this is all going to be right here. This is all going to be the one texture that we could salvage. Normal.png. And if you hit Z, rendered, boom. We'll do the same right here. We'll hit that. We'll throw this right into default. And that's the rendered. Now, the reason why this isn't bumping is because in the Unity engine, or any engine really, we got to set it as a normal map. So if I turn this one solid color, in fact, Shift and A, make sure you hit A twice because you don't want to add by Shift and A and add another mesh while these are highlighted. Because if you do, you're going to lock them in and then you got to take them out, and it's just one big problem. So right here, we're going to hit Shift and A. Son of a baby. Shift and A. And we're going to make a plane. And G on the X. And now we have, we'll do material. There we go. And right here, we're going to go right up into our shading. Shift and A right here. Vector, normal map. Shift and A, texture, image texture, and we're going to choose our normal. We're going to throw that right into the color, this right into the normal. We're going to take this out, and our base color is going to be white. And that will take this, and now you can see how the normal map takes effect to it. That's how you do normal maps. That's how you put it in. I should have shown that in. This is what we need to create. We need to create something, and then we need to color it. So how do we do that? Well, I got a pretty darn good idea, and I've tried a couple other methods. As you can see right here, you can see all the different, here, let's just jump into material preview. Now you can see where all the bolts and dents and whatnot were, and you have an idea as to where they're going to go. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a texture, and we're going to turn that into a normal map. So first thing we want to do is we want to pull in our normal map. And how you do that is underneath File, Import, and I've already put images as planes, but if you don't have it, which you probably don't, underneath Preferences, Add-ons, if you type in, this is going to be all plane, underneath Search, import images as planes, import images plane, Rust models, and we're going to bring up that normal.png. And now we have this right here. And we can scale that to pretty much any size we really want to, but we're going to take this G on the Y, and let's throw that off over here. Because this is what our capture is going to be. This is what we're going to absolutely need to take a photo of, because this is what we're going to be painting on. And we got to go from there. So now that we have all this up and working, let's get busy with this. Oh man, I'm so cheesy. I'm such a dad. We need to go ahead and we already said that we want to have something glowing on it. And we also said, the code lock goes on the bottom, doesn't it? It doesn't go on the top. This needs to be rotated on the y-axis by 180 degrees and flip it over, and then we need to rotate it on the z 180 degrees. There we go. Looks like this too. Oh man, I'm glad I caught that now. So we can at least see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, good to know. Because this is the top. This is the bottom. Our door is going to be upside down. Oh, we can always flip it later. But from here, what we got to do is underneath UV editing, we have all this chosen. Let's click tab, click this, and set a default normal. There we go. UV. Huh. Why is there a key there? Oh. In case you put a key lock on. Got it. See how that just goes right in there, it all blends in. Alright, so we have this, and we need to, this will be our working model. Go into UV, export UV layout, 512 by 1024. We're just going to throw this right underneath the desktop. And we're going to call this sheet wall door. Yeah, that's fine. Export UV layout. Boom. So this right here goes up there. This looks like the actual door itself. This goes on the end. Let's throw this here. So you can actually make a day of it going out and finding textures. Take pictures, things like that, and just drive around looking for some cool stuff, you know? The best textures to download are the ones from your phone that you took, because nobody else owns those. You do. It's all yours, 100%. And also depending on what type of software you use. That is, it's free to use. Turkeys, free to use. Yeah. So, traffic. Oh my god, my nose is like out in the, okay, good, they're turning. So we'll see how this is going here. So I actually found something that I think would fit nicely. It smells like death. Alright, snap a few shots of this. Alright, so found some pretty good textures down there. Happy with those. And we got, oh, what the hell? And these are the turkeys I was just talking about. Go! Okay, so I redid this. We still have our normal right here, and we have the normal attached. Yeah, so we have our normal attached to our principal BSDF shader, which is like our diffuse shading. Let's see, material rendered. And as you can see, it's still pretty much the same. You can see rotate on the Z 90 degrees. It's all shiny, which it'll be in, excuse me, which will be in there too. And now we have our textures. So I made a folder called tutorial. Yeah. And now what we get to do is we get to go through. Should put a turkey on these things. And look for one that we like. Actually, that one doesn't look too bad. And if we hold control and scroll in, and then press down on middle mouse button, we can actually okay. I like that one. This is 154720. 154720. Alright. 154720. So let's hit this, hit tab. And we will, hitting 3, we're just going to highlight the entire door. I'm going to hit W and just do it this way. Shift. Making sure that I get everything. Oh! Control Z. Control Z is your friend, if I haven't said anything. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Holding shift. Let's get these and that and these. Shift. Holding shift, get the rest of these. Oh, Control Z. It's good after you do a few of them, let go of it. Because if you do a lot and then you screw up and you press Control Z, you're going to jump all the way back to the beginning. And it's kind of pointless at that point. Kind of pointless at that point. Nice, Derek. Alright. Oh, Control Z. And, oh. Shift. That looks pretty good. That looks really good, actually. Alright. So, going to UV editing. And UV. we're going to call this export UV layout. Underneath desktop, of course. That way it's right out in the front. Sheet wall door. Export UV layout. And now we gotta get the other stuff. Oh. You know, we might just be able to keep that. I hit Shift and C to jump back to my beginning point. Alright, zooming in. I'm going to hit W until the selection up here comes up. And then I can just do that. And as I said before, right here, I mean, we could actually cut the whole door in half. I do believe we got this part, though, but I could be wrong. Or you know what? I don't even think we have to worry about the side of the door yet. But just in case we do forget about something here. Yeah, because that's following right along there. I'm not even gonna worry about that. Okay, so that goes around the outside. Around the outside. Around the outside. And then this one will just be our key lock. And I believe that'll start right here, which I took another photo of, but I don't think I'm going to use that. UV, export UV layout, same thing, underneath desktop, sheet metal doorway, and we'll do outside. Export UV layer, and holding shift. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so holding shift to make this a little bit easier. Oh, actually, let's click that. Let's just go around this right here completely. So now that we got that, and we're going to go into the door, holding shift. Now that we got all that, I'm going to hit W until it's our selection process, and holding shift, I'm going to reselect it so that we have nothing but this. And it was. Alright. That's right. We'll call this door handle. So, UV, export, door, That's not a handle. That's... What the heck is that? That's a thing. And that's why I deleted the door handle, by the way. So if you still have the door handle up, you can just click on it and delete it. Door casing? Door handle case? Case, yeah. Export UV layout. Underneath desktop. We want to keep them all together. Alright. And we're going to click these two first for the next one. And then W, and holding shift, same thing. Okay. Nice. Ish. UV export door keypad underneath desktop. Yeah, I was going back last night through all the old or older tutorials or whatever tutorials I could find on making skins for Rust. This is the only way really that I found that, you know, people use this. So I don't know if you guys find this easier or if you like the other method. I did see they had some oh god, what was it? I don't know, some freaking... Oh wait. I'm not going to worry about this just yet. There, now we got that. So, but yeah, I noticed that... Sorry, I'm getting off track here, guys. I definitely can't multitask. Yeah, I noticed that everyone else, they use... What the heck is it? There was some program, and I looked it up, and it was a crap load of money. And I'm like, well, that's nice if you already have the program, because it already does all your normal mapping and everything like that for you, which is great. If you have it, I would probably use that myself, but we don't. So this is where we're at now. Survive and adapt, right, guys? Which one do we decide that we want now? Now that we have all those, let's bring up this here. 1, 2, and well, get out of that layout. Wonder if there's a way. Control 1, 2. No. All right. Now that we have that file open, desktop, handle keypad, outside of door, okay, keypad. Alright, so just the doorway. Jump into this, and with all this selected, you can see the yellow outside. We're gonna do that. We're going to fill it. pull up? How do I bring up my extended tools? I got a new one. Paint tools. Oh, bucket. Shift and B. Derp, derp, derp. Let's use the white because the black's gonna mesh in with the lines here, which is a pain in the neck. Oh, I'm gonna click this right here. There we go. And then we'll just delete it after. And then move is M, but we're not gonna move it yet. We're just gonna press Control C. And this will be outside. And then hide that. And select is R. Control V. There we go. All right. Well, here we go. And now we choose. Choose wisely. So let's look for the main part. I don't know. Yeah, that's the one. Because that has some scrapes and... Oh, that's kind of good too. Although if the keypad's going here, can have some rust on the door. Or up here coming off the top. Oh. That would be cool. So I open more than one window in here. This is a 512 by 1024. So file, open, desktop, tutorial, and oh, click to create preview. Let's just eat up that RAM. How much RAM are we using right now? 22, that's not bad. Back into GIMP. It's the rust along those edges. Although, that might be good for the door if we can curvature that. That one's pretty good too. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with this when I choose it. That's really good actually, because it has some of the paint peeling off. That's good for rust as well. Now, this isn't a good picture. Just because you have, when I took this in the alley, which I can only imagine the people driving by, this guy's taking pictures of a dumpster. It's like, this is dumpster gold. I don't even know what the heck we're going to do with that. I just took pictures of them because maybe we can do something with them in another tutorial. Maybe this section right here. But, yeah. It's always good to take lots of pictures and then just sort them out. It's all about organizing so that you have them for later. I do like that one. So 14720. 14720. Cancel. Outside. Sheet wall door. Let's close this off. And now we're going to click on this with sheet wall door. And we're going to click that. And we're going to rename this. Let's start renaming it. Just double click on it and outline. So we have our outside, our outline, and then file, open as layers, underneath tutorial, 520, keep original, and we're gonna press Control, scroll back, Shift and S to scale it. Here, let's click on this. Shift and S. And when you click on it, it's going to get all... Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to hold Shift and then bring it down. And Control to zoom in. And we're going to... Well... Reset. R for rectangle, click on it. Shift and R, we're going to rotate it. Our angle is going to be 90 degrees. Rotate. Boom. And alright. Shift and S. Holding Control or Shift, it's going to scale it uniform. And let's get this right in the middle. Control to zoom in, pressing down on middle mouse button. And we'll just bring that down a little bit here. Go right here, Shift. Okay, not holding Shift with that one. Scale. Boom. Got it. Not bad. Now that we have that, we're going to take the outside, we're going to throw that on top, bring that up, and we already have the starting of our outside. We're going to file, export as, and we're going to call this, we'll do it, we're going to make a new folder. So right click, nope, create folder, Blender. Test. Export. No, cancel. Oh. Desktop. Create new folder. Blender test. Alright, there we go. And this one is going to be door test. Export it. .png. And just in case, I'm going to go down here to select file type, and I'm just going to find the .png for the extension down here. PNG, export. That way we can keep export the quality as well. Alright. And now that we have that, jump into this. And here's default, image texture, open, underneath desktop, Blender test. Cool. Now I didn't rotate, I brought it back in, just so you know. All right. I wouldn't worry too much about this for right now, because we made another one and the keypad will overlap that. But we got the door. And as you can see, if we hit Z, rendered, it still has the normal map attached to it. But, God, I love coffee. We'll have 2 on this side and then 1 going there. Because, yeah. So jumping back into here, we're going to click back on this. Close that out. And Shift and S to scale it out. Control Z. Click on that. Okay, scale. That looks a little bit better. And we can actually, if we hit R or Shift and M, no, just M, we'll move it over a little bit. We'll use the arrow keys for this. And R, click anywhere. File, export as doortest.png, export, replace, Shift and Tab, open, and we'll do the same thing. Why come you not work? Oh, that's why. We gotta export it. What's going on here? Cancel. There we go. Export. If that ever locks up, just hover over this. There's probably something else. Now we got it. And we'll try that one more time. Yeah. There we go. Sweet. So we'll have the bolts sticking out. That scrape will look pretty cool when we're done with it. Alright. So this is definitely going to be over an hour tutorial, because we're already at this part. But let's add something else now. We can add our details to it. But before we do, let's get the rest of this stuff in there. So let's jump into here. and then File, Open, Desktop, Keypad. We're going to select this, Shift and B, fill that in, select it again, Control C to copy, and we're going to name this layer Keypad. Well, no, we want the face of the keypad first. The flat sides. Outside. Zoom in here, and then with that zoomed in, we're going to zoom out like that. We're going to hit R, click anywhere, and we're going to use U for our magic wand. Oh, that's why. Sheet door. I just want to get that. Come on, come on, come on. And I'm holding shift while I'm doing this. Oh, Control Z, definitely your friend. Make a new layer, and we'll do this face. And now we'll just fill these. We'll fill them up with, yeah, okay. Oh, we're gonna fill these up with black because we actually want these filled in. Black. So if you hold shift, so see how I did that? One by one. If you quickly, after they're all selected, and you press shift, it'll do all of them. So with that selected, how am I going to go about that? Oh, crap. Getting alerts here. Alright. Okay, well, sometimes we need control to do a little zoom in here. Come on. Okay. Crap. We're just gonna use that. What's oh, Control Z. How big is this? Opacity, size. Oh, sugar. Let's go right down here. And as you can guess, we just flip it again, fill it in with some, oh, here, we'll just make that section right there. There we go. So we filled that in. Oh yeah. How fun. Oh. We'll do the same thing down here. Zoom it in. And I mean, cleaning it up again, like I said in the other tutorials, this is the tough part. But once that's done and it's over with, you can go ahead and you can save this. You'll have it again for later. And you can just pull up the template whenever you want to use it. And basically start from there. Okay. Actually, I was thinking about just making a website, because I think this is going to be the final tutorial here that I'm going to do for just this for the skins and Rust, and I'm going to move on to something else. But I mean, we can always, you know, continue on the web page, maybe make content, or I can make that one of my Patreon. Actually, that's something that I wanted to talk about here. I'm going to be making a Patreon, and in it I will go through tutorials with, depending on what level of subscriber you are. Obviously, as you go up, you get more perks. The problem is I work all the time, and if I don't work, I'm either doing this, or sometimes I'll, you know, I did a couple live streams. I'll do that, and then I can just, you know, go and do that instead of just this. But if I have more time, because I mean, also when I'm not working my job, I'm doing another job or something else. It's really a pain in the neck how little time I actually have. But with what little time I have, I'm willing to donate. Control Z. I'm willing to donate some of it to my Patreons. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't monetized my channels or my videos at all. I don't like the idea of, you know, having to wait for, I don't know if you guys saw any ads. I don't believe you get ads when you monetize them. I just find that a pain in the neck. And I'm trying to keep it, you know, as simple as possible. That way you can go back and reference it whenever you want. So if I make a web page, I'll have members access depending on your Patreon level, give you a username and password. And with this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and release everything that I'm doing here. So you can just pull up everything ready to go, and I'll put it into a Blender file here. Okay, so that's keypad outside. Which one is the keypad outside? That's the face. Alright, let's zoom into this. And now we'll just do bring this back to the rectangle. I don't know why it's not allowing me to... Oh, derp. Okay. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but it's getting there. Alright, so we have that. Sheet door wall. So there's the face of the keypad. And what we'll do here is we'll bring this up, and then we'll take this. So that's the face. And we need that as well. So we're going to add a new one. And then we'll call this, well, the keypad's going to go onto there. So the face, we'll just do test because I'm messing around with this. We want this right here to be filled in with everything else. So face. Oh, you know what? We can duplicate it. Boom, face copy. So we're gonna take face and test. So yeah, let's get rid of that. So we're still gonna need test here. But face copy. Let's hit R for the rectangle. You can hit U or this. Now that we have that, we are going to do that. And then we'll do this, hitting Shift, Control C, and keypad outside, Control V. So that's just the face. And then we will do we'll make a duplicate copy of this. Let's Control C and then Control V, keypad outside, keypad face. There we go. Let's see if we can take this, and we got the outside of that. This is going to be tough to do right here. I'm not even going to lie about that. Alright, and then this one's this, outline. That sticks down into there. I don't know if we have that little niche in there, but we can always fix that after. Worst case scenario, we have that. Alright, so just like I showed you with the other tutorials, you can, do a couple fill-ins. But let's take this out, and we have that, and we're going to fill this up with just the white. Flip that. Oh, Control Z, I did the wrong one. There, now we have just the white. This is face copy. Alright, so you know what? We'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we will do just select this and these. Sheet door and test. Shutting these off. There we go. So now that we have that, we're going to do sheet door. We're going to open that. And then File, Open. We'll just open up whatever. We'll open up this one. Jump back to this. Control C, Control V, and then on this one, face copy. Control Z, Control C, Control V. There we go. And now we will fill this up with green. I don't know, any other color besides this. We'll do red. Okay. Oh. R for rectangle, because we got to merge these first. There we go. So black and black. Now we'll fill this up with white. Or red. Whoa! Holy God! Alright. Try red now. Red, red. So we're going to have to fill that up with white. Alright. That's good. This ain't gonna be easy. I think you guys get the basic idea as to what I'm trying to do here. This isn't going to work. Face. Face copy. There we go. Control C. Control V. Fill that up with a different color. Red. Okay. Did it again. X. There we go. Alright. I got that filled up. Hit R for rectangle. Come back to here. Got that off. Control C. Control V. This is becoming such a pain in the neck. I am so tired right now, guys. I apologize. Oh, Control Z. We got this. We got this. Let's choose just this. Control C. And jump on here. Control V. There we go. Wow. So now we click on this, this, and this. Delete. There we go. There's our outside. Control C. Jump back in here. So test. This is sheet door. Face. Face copy. Keypad outside. There we go. Delete layer. Sheet door. We're going to take face, or keypad outside, bring that up, shut these off, delete, and Control V. Control C. Control V. Nope. So we'll click on this and this. Control C. We'll keep these two in here. Control V. There we go. Now, if we click on face, keypad outside, and the face will just be the face. Delete. Delete. Oh. We now have these. Keypad outside. Face. And the keypad outside will be, we'll fill that. Control Z, X, there we go. Alright, now we're moving along. Fill that in. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. Now that we have that, we'll fill this in with white. Let's throw this back. Okay. Derp. U. And it's what? Shift and B. Shift and B for bucket. U. Click on this. Oh, son of a gun. Alright, not a big deal. Keypad outside. This is what we want. U. Okay. Yeah. The active layer is not visible. Oh. There we go. Keypad outside. U. Click on that. Delete that. Face. We now have the keypad outside. We messed up face. So we're going to delete face. You guys see what I'm trying to do. This is just the sheet wall door. This is just the test. Okay. So now that we have this keypad outside, we're going to do, here, choose these two, fill it in. No, that's what we want. Okay. Duplicate layer, which is right here. And now that we have that, we want just these. So, Shift and B, X. There we go. U. I don't know what test is. Sheet metal door. We don't really need sheet metal door. We're just going to create a new one. All right. We have the outside of our keypad. Which is this right here. So we're going to choose these and fill that in with X. There we go. Keypad inside is going to be the face. Remove. Outside, inside. Which is right there. U. Shift and B. Fill that in. U. Delete. Delete. So yeah, instead of you guys doing all this, I mean, I'm already doing it. That's what I was talking about with the website. So you would go and you would just download, and then you can just throw these templates on. I was thinking about just making a web page section. All right, now that we got the hard part done, and then we have this thing. This can just, goodbye. Delete layer. And then we have sheet wall door. So we got that. Control C. Delete. Control V. All right. This is the door. This is the keypad. Now that we have that, awesome. So, file, save as, keypad, XCF, cool. This one, file, save as, wall door, or door test, there we go, save. What do we want for this now? A wood keypad. This actually wouldn't be too bad with that. Man, I think I need to make another. Oh. Found my rust though. 154759. File, open, 154759. And we are going to choose, holding shift, I'm just going to attach all that. Nope, we don't want that. We do want that, we do want that. We want this. There we go. And we do want to cut that out, but we want this. This all can go. Son of a baby. Zooming in. Let's see what that looks like. Control C. Add a new layer called Rust. And R for rectangle, because we're going to need that. And Control V. That's not too bad. Let's see what it looks like on here. Control C. Come over to here. Control V. Nope. Control Z. Outline. That's the outline. Okay. Outside. New. Detail. Detail is going to be on top of everything except for the outside. And Control V. Ooh, I do not want that on outside. So Control Z. Twice. So detail does go up. Control V. There we go. And now we bring outside up. Hit detail. Shift and R to rotate. We'll do 90 degrees. Rotate. Shift and S to scale it. This can actually go. So we're going to erase that, and because we have it on a layer, we can just erase the heck out of that. Bring up the size a little bit. Bring up our outline. Actually, I think that can stay right where it is. Right there is kind of the middle of the door, so that's where I want the symbol to go. And then, of course, the keypads can go there. Page. Okay. You know what? R for rectangle. We're going to save this. And we're going to save this. And we are going to... I don't even think we need this one. We're going to keep this here for right now because we're going to do... Oh, you know what? We might have to create a whole nother one. Let's shut the detail off on this because we're going to go do a different way of normal mapping this. So let's at least see how these look at first. Because now we got to start normal mapping it, and then we can add the extra details. this. We're going to keep the outline on this just for the time being. Just to get our normal map in here, and then we can add more after. So, file, save as, or export as, and then door test, norm, create, export. Alright, let's jump back into Blender. And now we got to create our normal. Because what we have over here, Shift and C, jump back here. I'm going to use Shift and tilde to go up to this just for a moment. Click on this. This we're going to use default.obj. We got to rotate that. So rotate on the Z 90, nope, 180. And let's disconnect the normal from this right now. Because as you can see, we can see the old door right here. Oh, is that the top? No, I believe this is the outside. Yeah. That's where the door folds into. Same with these. Okay. That should be about right. Because, yeah, if it didn't work out, it wouldn't be like that. Alright, we're good. We're good. So now that we have this, let's jump back into shading, and we're going to disconnect this normal. Back into layout, Z, material preview. And if I press shift and right click, it's going to move this cursor right here. And what that does is, this is when we add an object, that's where it's going to be added to. Now notice right here how this is highlighted. You don't want that. In fact, we're just going to have to right click, new collection. New collection. This is collection 1. And with that, I'm going to press shift and A, and we're going to create a circle. And with that circle, you know what? The heck with it. X to delete, shift and A. We're going to just make it a sphere. UV sphere. And S, we're going to scale it down by 0.2. Okay, so 0.02. Shift and tilde, move in. S to scale. And we are going to go down to about... Now I can use the arrow keys to bring it up. And what we want is when we hit 7 and we zoom out and we find this, we want it to be right in the middle so it still looks like it's kind of a rivet. That works. Now we're going to click on that. There's our sphere. Shift and D, and we're going to put it along the X, and you can use your arrows, or you can just go to match that right about there. And G on the Z, we're going to bring it down just a little bit. So we have this and this. Perfect. And Shift and D, bring that up and over. And now let's do all that again, Shift and D, and we're just gonna bring that right down. So 1, 2, oh. All right, Control Z that all the way back. We want it to go straight down on the Z. Shift and D on the Z. Shift and D on the Z. So Shift and D, when I say on the Z, I'm pressing Z. Shift and D, Z. And let's just highlight all that. Now it's also hitting this as well, so just while you're holding Shift, press it twice. And we'll do the same thing. Shift and D on the Z. We'll bring it up to about here. And G on the Y. No, G on the X. And G on the Z. So we definitely want these to match. G on the X, G on the Z, enter, G on the X. Probably easier if you just did them a few at a time. G on the X, enter, G on the Z, enter. G on the X, G on the X, G on the Z. Bring that up here. G on the X will go over to the left. Shift and D on the Z. Click on this and this. Actually, G on the X, bring this over. G on Z, bring it up. So what we're doing here is we're essentially making it 3D. Well, we're not essentially, that is what we're doing. This one is so off, it's not even funny. G on the X, bring this over. G on the Z, bring it up. So anything that is 3D in your picture, you're really going to want to accentuate with this. Shift and D on the Z. There we go. And the heck with this last one, we can do something else with that. Click on this, holding Shift, Shift and D on Z, G on the X, Shift and D on the Z, G on the X. Click these, Shift and D on the Z, G on the X. Click, click, click. Shift D on X. Boom. And there's only 2 left. So 1, 2. Shift D on Z. G on X. I mean, Shift D on Z. It's kind of appropriate that this is a dumpster too, because it definitely seems like that's something that they would make out of they'd probably make a door out of the side of a dumpster. You know. Alright. And let's just highlight these. Shift, click it twice, Shift D on the X. We'll go over here and then we'll zoom in. G on the X. Zoom in some more. G on the Z. Come up. Ooh. These ones didn't work out. G on the X. Oh, Control Z. G on X. Okay. That was G on the X, G on the Z. These are not as good. G on the X, G on Z, G on X. All right. So now that we have those, we don't need these. So Shift, click it twice, X, delete, boom. This one can go. These need to be rearranged a little bit. G on the X, G on X, G on Z. Alright, let me see here. So that's collection 1. Now that we have that in there, it doesn't look too bad actually. So the rust is going to go over this stuff. So technically this stuff will still be here. Or maybe we could just put the rust in the middle of the door. Okay, so why we're doing this is because we need these to stick out from our normal map. We're going to make a normal map actually inside Blender. And how we're going to do that is we're going to hit N, View, Lock Camera to View. And what that does, and if you hit N again, N as in Nomad, when you do that, what ends up happening is whatever you're looking at, it ends up, yeah, basically, well, here, I'll show you. So I go to move this, and now it's moving the camera. I don't have to physically place the camera. I can zoom it around or whatever. And what we're going to do is just like if you watched one of my other tutorials, it zooms it in. But we're not using this just yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to press 3, 9, 3, 3, 7, 1. There we go. It's 1. It's one of them. It's either 1, 3, 9, or 7. This one on me, it's 1. And I'm zooming into about here. and I'm going to press Control, Alt, and 0. And I was putting that face on. And this, actually, all of these should be 512 by 1024. So, we're going to have to go back into here. And we're going to change that to, we're going to go right here to Output Properties, 512 by 1024, the exact dimensions. And pressing Shift and down on middle mouse button, I can go up, down, left, right, and Control and middle mouse button will let me zoom in and out. Shift and C, go back to there. I'm just gonna zoom in to, I'm gonna hit 1, zoom in as much as possible, and then I'm gonna hit Shift, Alt, and 0, and Control to zoom in. And I'm trying to align this the best that I can at this point. We're still going to have to add more, so this obviously is going to have to be saved. It's really tricky to get this exact and correct, but so what we're doing now is this is flat. We have these dots, it's head on, and we are perfectly parallel X, Y, and Z wise. So we're going to hit this viewport shading. We see the viewport. We can add other things too later. We're going to hit Metacap. You'll see this little drop down bar for viewport shading. It's like a little extra options bar. And we're going to click Studio Light. And by doing that, we're going to see this. It's going to almost create like a normal map. Well, it is going to create a normal map. So, underneath View, Render Viewport Image. There we go. Image, save as, underneath your desktop. And we'll do this as normal test PNG. Save. Now that we have that, let's go ahead. We're going to hit 0 again, because the only thing that we really use this for. Now you can jump right back out. You can throw that in. We're going to go back to Studio. Z, rendered. And with this one, we're going to go, if we look over here, this might be a little bit better view, the inside of the door. The reason why we have this is because that's actually part of the geometry, remember? So let's now jump into our shading. This was the first normal, but underneath desktop, we're gonna do this one, normal test. Plug that right into our normal layout. And we now have the normal. These should be lined up for the most part. It's tough to tell. How you can do that actually is if you go into shading and you hit Shift. Here, let's jump over here. Shift and A, and you go into vector. Normal map, nope. Hit X, Shift A, vector, normal. Click on that. And you can change where the light is on this. You know what? Let's make it look like that these are up higher. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit layout. We're going to jump back over here. This is where we can start having a little bit of fun with it. Hit A twice, make sure there's nothing here. Underneath collection 1 we have 49 pieces. Holy butts. Shift and A, cube. Oop. Control Shift H or Shift and H. Control H. Let's unhide all this stuff. Oh my goodness. I know there's a hotkey for it, I just don't feel like looking it up. I know. Normally I don't use the hide hotkey. Don't ask me why. I just haven't really used it. Now it could really come in handy. So learning lesson for me. Learn the hotkey. Alright. G on the X. We're going to scale this on the Y. To 0.02. And then we're going to scale it on the X to 0.1. 7. G on the X. Come over to about here. Scale on the Z to 0.5. Now we'll do 0.4. G on Z. Wow. Brain broke. Hey, that actually worked out semi-okay. We want this to come down just a little bit more. So what we can do is we can hit this nifty little X-ray button. And if we hit tab, we can hit, here, we'll hit the number 1, number 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to hit number 1. And, oh. Tab. Oh. There we go. And because we just have that right there, we're going to do G on Z. Come down to about here. And I want this to come in. Well, first off, let's subdivide this. And what subdivision surfaces do is it gives it a little bit more geometry. And, well, G on Z, come up there. Okay. So what we're going to do here is this, actually, where are we? Cube, tab, sphere, cube. Alright, we're going to hide the cube. And then we're going to take these. Hit shift. So that it's just this that's selected. Hit that again. And we're going to go G on Y. We're going to bring that back And we could actually probably bring those out a little bit after. So that's G on Y. And now we can do, unhide the cube. Click on that, tab, Control and R. We're gonna do 10 cuts. No, we're not. We're gonna go 1, or hit 7. We're gonna choose just this side, G on Y, and we're gonna bring that down to about here so that it goes in like that. So it's gonna look a little bit thicker where the door hinge is. And now we're gonna click on our modifier, add modifier, subdivision surface. And if we hit Z into wireframe, you can see how that sort of makes it. We are going to give it a few more renders though. And if we hit Control and R, we can actually bring this up and kind of shape it a little bit. Control R, bring that down. And Control R, bring that over. And now that that's subdivided, G on the Z, bring this up to about here. G on the Z, bring that down to about there. And we're going to choose tab, choose that, hit 7, G on the Y, and we're going to come to about here. Let's see how this looks. Just for ha-has. Hit 0. We're going to jump back into this. Metacap. Still keep it where it is. And render image. View, render image. There we go. Okay, so now that we have that image, save as, and normal test. There we go. Exit, hit 0. And let's jump back over here. We'll jump back into regular shading. And shading, click on this. Open normal test. Material preview. For whatever reason, it is not showing up. Why come you not show up? Exit. Shift A. Texture. Image texture. Open the freaking image texture underneath desktop. Normal test. Throw normal test into there. Z, rendered. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it is. It's just tough to see it in this lighting. We're still not done yet. So now we got our normals kicking in. We are going to have to do something about this one too. But yeah, it's definitely throwing it off quite a bit. Or we can have that as the door part. So that's how you do that. Rendered. Shift A, light, spot, G on Z, G, rotate on X, coming up. Yeah, that's much better. Alright, so let's jump into this now. We got a couple more things to do here. That looks a lot better. Okay. Well, while we're at it, I think the depth and stuff would really come in better now that we got basically most of this in. If we add into our metallic. So we're going to open up materialize. And now's the time to open our diffuse map, door test. And this is where like our edge maps and our AO and stuff are really gonna kick in. So first things first, let's open up the normal map that we made. So that would be underneath desktop, normal test. Once that's opened, we can do show full material. And now we can definitely see the bumpiness. We're going to want to add an edge for the edge mapping because that'll help out for our AO. And then, of course, our smoothness map. But metallic is one thing that's going to show out. I know Rust definitely takes advantage of metallic, and we'll have to deal with that. Open edge map. We'll do steam.png. No, clear that. We're going to create an edge map. And this is going to create our edges. I believe Steam does that as well. I don't know why that's like that. Oh well, it'll add character to it, I'm sure. So you can add the pinching. I don't want it to be too much, but enough. There we go. Final contrast. No. We want it still to be somewhat smooth. Final bias. Pillow it a little bit more. Pinch. Bring it up. There we go. Soft. Displace. Tight. Yeah. We want it nice and tight. So set edge map. Show full material. And that's going to really add and make it look like there's a little bit of the extra there. Actually, hold on. Create crevice amount. Bring that up. Edge amount, we're going to bring down just a little bit. And we're going to bring up our pinch just a little bit more. Set as edge map. Show full material. There we go. Now we're going to add a smoothness map, create that, and let's reveal slider. There we go. So metal smoothness, we want it to be somewhat smooth. Base smoothness. Set as smoothness, show full material. There we go. Let's create our AO next. And actually I like that because it has all the dots. The AO accentuates the normal map. You don't want it to be like, where you can't see everything. If you can't see the dots and all the extra details, you just got to mess with the sliders. To the point where you can bring up the bias. If we were to go all the way up, that's a little too much. There we go. That actually looks pretty darn good to me. Set as AO, show full material. Now it's really starting to come out. But it's all still too shiny. So metallic map. Now we got to create our metallic map. Bam. Although I don't know if we want it reversed. I kind of want the rust to be shiny. But let's bring up the blur size. Overlay. There we go. Bring up the contrast, final bias. Because I want it to be, when it's sawed off, I want the paint to look like paint and then this to actually look like metal. Set as metallic. Show full material. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. So now that we have those maps done, we can actually have the AO map. Alright. And we'll make these PNG files. And I think, let's see here, settings. Save project. Come down here. We'll do Blender test. Create new folder. Materialize, confirm, and that's how you make your AOs. It just saves a lot more time than going in and doing it. This tool is definitely invaluable. I just did the normal map inside here. We're not even bothering with a height map. That's not... I mean, you could do it, but doing it this way is definitely going to be more efficient. And it's just going to look better. I mean, we're not even done yet. But at least this shows you how to make the AO. And let's take a look, see how this looks. Let's take a look to see how this looks. Okay. Door. Save. Alright, so that project's saved. AO map, save as, materialize, AO. Tab. Let's go underneath here. Desktop. Tutorial. Desktop. Overlays. Normal test. Blender test. Materialize. AO. File info. 512 by 1024. It saved the original file size. Alright, perfect. So we got that. We'll save the edge map just for ha-has. Edge, smoothness, save as smooth, save as metallic. Alright, now let's jump back into here and we'll jump back into shading, base color, Shift A, texture, image texture, and then again, same hotkeys. If you press Shift and D, it'll do this again. So we'll jump into our metallic map. Let's open up our metallic, which where the heck did I, oh, Blender test. Okay. Metallic. Nice. Ambient occlusion. Roughness, I believe, is the smoothness. So we'll do smoothness. Open. Desktop. Blender test. Smooth. Nice. Shift, boom. Shift, boom, G. And shift, right click. Click on that G up here. G. Keep this stuff nice and neat now that we're G. G. Shift. G. Shift. G. There we go. And then that's our normal, of course. So, I mean, we could throw that in. You guys get the basic idea as to how this is starting to work now. So, with that, now we got a few other things to add here. You guys get the basic idea how this is going now. Alright. Layout. Oh yeah. So much better. And again, you can tweak with it in there, but that's how you create your AO maps. Next, we want to have the door glow. But let's finish up the keypad and whatnot. Or where we're going to put the keypad. I don't even know what we're going to use for that. I'm back to picking out a texture. I mean, we could use it as wood. Just put like no smoothness whatsoever on it. A wood door frame. That'd be great if people tried shooting it off. Okay, so now that we have this, I also did open up. I took a picture of my phone case, the OtterBox, just because this looks like it'd probably be a pretty good texture. Let's see what that would look like. In here, either for the outside or the inside, so I'm going to make a new one. Detail, file, open as layers. Desktop, tutorial, phone, case. And then I also have, I took a picture of my fan. It's in my room. So let's get both these in here. Open. Yeah, sure, rotate. That actually doesn't look too bad. We can definitely use that. And crop. No, we don't even need to crop it. We'll just Control C underneath the sheet door. Throw this up like that. That'll go right here. And this is the rest right here, obviously. So that's the inside. If we make that like so, detail. Choose the metal. Image, cropped selection. Oh, Control Z. Control C, Shift M to move. Alright, so let's shut this off and we'll do Control V. That'll be over that. Control Z underneath detail. Put that just like that. And now we're going to erase here. R for rectangle, there we go. This metal, we can delete that layer. Oh. Now that layer's deleted. So underneath detail, we're going to erase it. We're going to bring down the size of our brush substantially. There. And just get all that into there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to fill that in. Let's file, open, desktop, tutorial, phone, case, keep original. We could take bits and pieces of this. So when dealing with this, I don't necessarily hit R rectangle, choose. Now that we have this open, well, here, let's use this piece right here. Control C, jump into here. This is detail. Let's merge these two together. Why do I keep doing that? Alright, so now that we have that, I'm going to choose this, and we're going to fill that in. Shift and B with white. choose this section, delete it, and new detail 1. Control V, throw that up here. Yeah, that's cool. R for rectangle. Sure. All right. Merge these two together. And now that we have that, we're just going to delete it. Yeah. Let's choose the whole thing, Control C. File, open. Oh, no, cancel. That's our template. XCF. Door test, XCF. There we go. We have that. Outline. Detail. Alright. With that in there now, what do we have? Outline can go. Delete the layer outline. Detail isn't ready to be thrown in just yet. Or yeah, we can do detail now that we got our normal map on there. And then of course the outside. So let's merge all these together. File, save as. Always save whenever you're going to do something huge. Door test 1, save, and we're just going to drop all those down there. Control V. So let's fill this in with white. There we go. Try this again. Control C. Delete. Control Z. Alright, Control V. Now that that's on there, we're just going to click this. Oh. Control Z. New layer. Detail, there we go. Take that out, Control V. Alright. Let's choose this. Oh, R. There we go. Now we're good. U or the magic wand. Delete. Bring this up to the top. Turn that on. Delete. File, export as. doortest1.png. Underneath, we'll do it as door test. Export, replace. Export. Now we have that. Default. We're going to open up texture paint, shading, base color, door test. Doesn't look too bad. This part's black because we haven't filled that in yet. And then we got to do the door handle too, which is almost done. The door's coming along. Oh, and this right here actually jumps up onto the side. And these are just the little things that you got to look out for, but as you can see, it's a heck of a lot better than what we were doing before. And we still have this right here, but the fact of the matter is I showed you guys how to do normal maps. Let's throw in the glow right about here. Or I can just save that for another tutorial, but you guys basically get the idea now. And we are going to have to, here, let's jump into here. Up here, this all can pretty much be the same. I want it to be this texture. So we're going to choose that. We're going to add a new detail. So underneath, or no, we'll delete that. We're going to add a new one by importing file, open as layers, phone. Or we can do metal, but phone would probably work better. Phone case. Keep original. M to move it, and this is just going to come up here. And we'll throw that up like that. Jump back into here. Nope. And that'll go right like that. Perfect. File, export as door test. Replace it. Export. And now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and I don't like how this has that on it though. Might have to redo that, but this is just so you guys get the basic idea. Alright. Yeah. Blender. And jump back into layout. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, so for this, basically what I did was I just file, import obj, and I brought in the door handle as well. And the door handle actually, if we hit UV, where is it? Door test. it's going to choose it from right here. So if you want, you can go back in and then put that, you can export that back into Blender, or export it from Blender back into the other one, GIMP, and then go from there. But I'm just going to keep it the same because this tutorial is pushing it. But as you can see, now it's coming out a lot different. Again, you might have to mess with it a little bit more, but with all that, we still have pretty much everything that we need. The last thing that we need is in here, file, open, create new layer. We'll call it detail. Symbol. Shut these off. And now that that's shut off, file, import, or open as layers. And I believe this would be desktop, tutorial, overlays. Would it be underneath tutorial? No. Decals? No. Not prawn. Patreon. Symbol 1234. Or just symbol 800. We'll do symbol.png. File, open, desktop. There we go. Open. We're on symbol. And what we're going to do is we are going to choose this, and we're going to fill that in. Well, Shift and S, scale this thing down. Scale. There we go. Fill that in. Well, delete this first. Choose that. Delete. Shift and S, scale it down by holding Shift. Scale. R for rectangle. Delete symbol. M to move. There we go. S to scale. Shift and S to scale. There we go. Scale that down. Delete, delete, delete. Oh, Control Z. Delete. There we go. Choose this. We're going to fill that in. Flip it as white. Let's get rid of this too. Now, when you're dealing with emissions or the glowing textures, black is off, white is completely on. So, we're going to fill this with all white. There we go. Throw this on top of it. Turn that back on. Oh. Symbol, Shift and S, scale. Put that right about here. Scale, boom. And that's going to be glowing all the time, and we can choose the color inside. Yeah, inside of that. And actually, this whole thing can be deleted. So let's just delete the rest of this stuff. Alright, R for rectangle, get it off that. Delete layer. Delete layer. Oh, no, actually, Control Z. Let's see here, details. Yeah, you know what? We'll just call this glow. Because just this will be glowing. So, delete this layer. No, Control Z, wrong layer to delete. Delete, delete, delete. And get rid of this crap right here. In fact, we'll just go like that. Yeah, there's a bunch of like little whatever. Alright, so that's exactly where we want it. File, save, export as, and we'll call this glow. Alright, and let's throw this in and see how it looks in Rust. Okay, so workshop, create new item. We're gonna jump into our door. Metal. What the heck was it? Sheet metal door. Alright. So edit, and let's throw what the heck did we put it in? Great. Blender test, that's what it was. And door test, PNG, open. We got that. Let's throw our normal in there. That actually doesn't look too bad. I would change this a little bit though. Again, this is just a tutorial. It doesn't mean that's what we're gonna get. Rust on the side of the door that we had there. Let's do normal. Smoothness. Specular gloss. Alright, so this would be the smoothness then. Let's do that. That looks a little bit better. And our emission will be glow. And then our emission shader we got to bring up and change the color with that. But yeah, that's how you make a sheet metal door. We'll do metallic for this one. There we go. That looks a lot better. And that is how you make a sheet metal door. You can go down and redo a couple other things here, but you guys get the basic idea of it. And we have all this basically looking the way that it's supposed to be. And then, you know, you can click on publish, export the item, be folder of choice. This is probably not useful to anyone. I think you can throw that into your own server and use it. But again, you don't have to. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any more of these tutorials. Somebody mentioned something to me like, dude, why don't you just do one every month of a different object? And I'm like, well, that doesn't really seem like something for the YouTube channel. That seems like something that I would make a web page for, and then I can leave the templates so that people can just pull up the templates and start doing their own stuff. In which, you know, members that subscribe would be able to get their own perks and things like that. But, yeah. Here, let's light on that. But, and we could probably bring this down just a little bit more. But, yeah, I'm going to put up a Patreon and see where that goes. I'll leave a link in all my videos when I'm finally done with it. And then there'll be perks like, I don't know, I'll do a tutorial with, you know, somebody of the choice, whoever donates the most money, that type of deal. And then they can literally put their ideas into my videos. But, yep, that's how you do it. Alright, thanks for watching.